You're not tired. You're overstimulated. You're not lazy. You're looped. Running the same mental script on repeat. I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right time. Maybe I'm just not wired for this. But here's the truth bomb. You're not broken. You're conditioned. Your brain doesn't want growth. It wants comfort. Dopamine hits, scroll rewards, tiny escapes disguised as rest. And meanwhile, your potential quietly suffocates under good intentions and half-done attempts. 5 years from now, you will look back at this exact season of your life. And one of two things will happen. You'll thank yourself for finally waking up. Or you'll wonder how you managed to waste another half the decade spinning in circles. And the difference? It won't be hustle, or motivational quotes, or waking up at 5 a.m. yelling affirmations into the mirror. It'll be the habits, small, often invisible behaviors that you either ignore or master. Because these aren't life hacks. They're identity upgrades in disguise. Silent shifts that rewire your direction without needing applause or perfection. And once they're in place, you don't just feel better. You become better. Quietly. Permanently. So if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Change doesn't slam through the front door. It sneaks in, barefoot, dressed like a habit. Think of your brain like wet cement. Every little action, every tiny decision, it leaves a mark. And over time, those marks harden into patterns. Personality, identity, default mode. This is how habits actually shape your future. Not with dramatic gestures, but with quiet grooves that turn into deep mental pathways. James Clear said it best. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. One late night scroll vote, one morning walk vote, one skipped workout, one deep focus session. It all stacks. Like momentum, in either direction, toward your potential or away from it. The mistake most people make? They chase the high of extreme effort while ignoring the power of what's quietly consistent. But the trick to transformation is boring. It's doing invisible things daily, when no one's watching, when motivation flatlines, when change feels pointless. Those are the moments that write your future, quietly, permanently. Let's start with the part of your life no one sees. The chaos that lives in your brain before you even check your phone. Because what most people call overthinking is actually just unprocessed garbage piling up. You don't need more clarity. You need a brain detox. Enter the morning mind dump. Every morning, 5 minutes. Write anything. Not for enlightenment, not for Instagram. Just to flush the stress chemicals, cortisol, marinating your brain overnight. Resentments, random thoughts, stupid dreams. Put it on paper so it gets out. This isn't journaling, it's mental unclogging. You're not overthinking, you're under-expressing. Next, the 3-second rule. See, your brain doesn't sit still. If you don't act in the first few seconds of an idea, it will talk you out of it. That's because your default wiring is protection, not progression. So when you get the thought to stretch, speak up, start something, move. 3 seconds. That's your window before hesitation kills it. Last one, replace what now with what first. The former invites your inner chaos. Gremlin to throw 19 tabs at your brain at once. The latter cues your logical brain to prioritize. This one shift triggers your prefrontal cortex, the executive part of your brain that can actually get things done without spiraling. These 3 habits don't just clear space. They train you to lead your mind instead of being dragged around by it. And once the fog is cleared, it's time to fix the real problem, the stuff that's been hijacking your reward system and stealing your willpower. Since you were 12, let's talk dopamine. Modern life has turned your brain into a reward junkie. Ping, scroll, like refresh. Every 2 seconds, something is trying to hijack your dopamine. And when dopamine becomes constant, motivation dies, focus disappears, the feeling of enough, gone. That's why everything feels boring unless it's hyper. Stimulating, and why you can't sit still without checking something. This is where dopamine fasting comes in. 1 hour a day, no screens, no music, no podcasts, just silence, stillness, real life. It'll feel brutal at first, like withdrawal, because it is. But boredom is literally healing. It resets your reward baseline, so your brain can start enjoying normal life again, like reading, working, or just being present? Next dopamine fix? Unfinished tasks. You know that feeling when you leave 12 tabs open? 3 messages unsent, laundry half folded? That's not just messy, it's mental clutter. These unfinished loops leak energy. So practice this micro habit. Finish what you start. Small things. Hit send. Close the tab. Fold the shirt. Build integrity with your future self. And for the love of your attention span, swap scrolling with the learn one thing rule. Every time you open TikTok, Reels, YouTube, stop and ask, what will I actually learn? If the answer is nothing, close it or swap it. This rewires your consumption into curiosity, which actually feeds your brain instead of frying it. Dopamine isn't the villain, it's the fuel. But when it's spent recklessly, it makes real life feel dull and discipline feel impossible. These habits don't just recalibrate your brain, and they rebuild your capacity to care again. Now let's shift from brain chemistry to body chemistry. Because guess what shapes your focus and mood even more than motivation? Movement, sunlight, and how you eat. You want mental clarity? You want motivation? Cool. Start by treating your body like it isn't just a meat sack you drag around behind your mind. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Your physical state is the foundation of your mental strength. First silent habit, get outside within 30 minutes of waking. 10-minute walk in natural sunlight. That's it. No crazy workout required. This single action spikes your dopamine in a good way, times your cortisol rhythm for clean, lasting energy, and locks in your sleep schedule without melatonin pills or 6 alarms. Harvard research backs it. Your biology craves this. Ignore it, and your brain runs on fumes and vibes all day. Second, cold exposure. Just 1 minute. Shower, face dunk, even standing half naked on your balcony counts. What matters is not the cold, it's your reaction to it. You're training your nervous system to not panic when life gets uncomfortable. The discipline you need at 6 a.m. starts here. It's resistance training for your willpower. Third habit, eat 1 meal daily without content. No shows, no scrolling, no podcast. Just you, your food, your thoughts. Sounds easy, until you realize how addicted you are to distraction. But this practice anchors mindfulness. It teaches your brain to slow down, to feel, to simply exist without desperately needing stimulation. And if that silence feels unbearable, that's the first sign something's off. You've forgotten how to sit with yourself. No phone, no noise, just presence. And that's exactly why you need it. These aren't health tips. They're focus rituals disguised as physical habits. Because when your body calms down, your brain finally gets the message, I'm safe. I can focus now. Now let's talk about something upstream of focus, your relationship with yourself. Time to rebuild trust. Self-trust isn't built through journaling affirmations or watching motivational edits at 2 a.m. It's built when your actions match your intentions consistently. The truth is, most of us don't have a motivation problem. We have a self-betrayal problem. And these next habits are designed to end that loop. Start with this. Do one hard thing before noon. Doesn't have to be heroic. Just difficult enough that your comfort zone flinches. A workout. A deep focus task. Studying when you don't feel like it. This sends your brain a powerful, silent signal. I do difficult things. That message sticks. It compounds. And it becomes who you are. Second, the 80% rule. Here's the deal. Stop burning yourself out trying to maximize every day. Train consistency, not obsession. Leave 20% gas in the tank, even on a roll. That leftover energy is how you show up again tomorrow. This rule shifts productivity from a dopamine high into a sustainable craft. Third, say no without explaining. No sorry, no fake excuses, no over-explaining to make them like you. Just a clean, confident no. Feels impossible at first, especially if you're a chronic people pleaser. But every time you do it, you sharpen a boundary. You remind yourself, my worth isn't up for negotiation. And here's the brutal honesty. If your boundaries only exist when it's convenient, you don't have boundaries. You have preferences. And life doesn't honor preferences, it honors standards. So choose these quietly powerful habits. Not for show, not for applause, but to prove to yourself that you can be counted on when it matters. Now let's zoom out. You've cleared your mind. Rewired your dopamine, built trust with yourself. But to go even deeper, you need perspective. Most of us live life zoomed all the way in. Like we're stuck in a spreadsheet of tasks, stress, endless to-dos. What we forget is how wildly freeing it is to zoom out and feel small on purpose. That's where the perspective collapse habit comes in. Once a week, spend 30 minutes watching something that makes your problems feel tiny. Space documentaries, Stoic philosophy, stories of people healing. When you zoom out, your ego shuts up and your values get loud. Then, recalibrate with a weekly reflection ritual. It's simple: 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 lesson. That's it. Bonus points if you write a quick note to next week's me. Because self-awareness isn't built from big moments. It's built from tiny check-ins you don't skip. Finally, start tracking energy, not just time. Every task, every meeting, every scroll, ask yourself, did this drain me or charge me? You'll start to notice that burnout isn't about doing too much. It's about doing too much that kills your soul. Like that quote says, we don't burn out because we do too much. We burn out because we do things that don't grow us. Time is limited. Energy is sacred. Use it for things that make you bigger. Let's be real, you already know what to do. This isn't a knowledge problem. It's a resistance problem. Because your brain was designed to survive, not evolve. And survival favors comfort, not challenge. That's why silent habits are harder than they look. They don't feel urgent. They don't give instant payoff. But that's also what makes them powerful. Every micro decision to act without applause, that's rebellion. That's you stepping outside the default. Most people fail not because they're weak, but because they wait to feel motivated. And motivation is flaky. Discipline isn't. Systems aren't. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to remove the friction and show up anyway. This stuff is hard because it changes you. Identity work always feels uncomfortable at first. But here's the tension. 1 year from now, you'll either be grateful you started when it was hard, or haunted that you never did. And that choice? It starts with what you silently do tomorrow. Pick 3 habits. Any 3. And do them for 30 days. Don't aim for perfection, aim for proof. Prove to yourself that you can follow through, even when no one's watching. Especially when no one's watching. If life's been feeling like a glitchy loop of almost, starts and half, finished plans. This is your exit. Not with magic, not with the next productivity hack, but with quiet, consistent micro. Choices that no one claps for. But your future self will thank you for endlessly. Build in silence. Win in private. And let your habits do the talking.